Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing another cube Swiss draft. And this is non-holiday cube, so it's legacy cube, which means there's no power 9 and slightly less abusive, actually quite a bit less abusive. So I'm looking at Noble Hierarch and Farseek. I think Noble Hierarch's more versatile in that it's got Exalted, but Farseek's more versatile because, well, I guess it doesn't let you ramp for green, but it does let you still play like board wipe spells, whereas Noble Hierarch kind of eliminates that. But I think Hierarch's also better because it's 1 mana. So I'm kind of feeling the Hierarch. Lingering Souls is very strong. It's a good card. White tokens, definitely good. I think I want the Hierarch though. I like rampy decks, I think, in this format. I had a great deck in the last one, and I definitely, as many people noted, botched it and did a pretty poor job of playing it in round 1 at least. So hopefully learning my lessons from there and improve this time around. Okay, nothing too terribly exciting here. I think I just take the Sylvan Library. It's a good card. It's early enough where I could still find some shuffle effects, which makes it, I don't know, really good in my opinion. If I have any sort of life gain, I can even draw extra cards off of it. So I like Sylvan Library. It's a good card. You know, lets you dig a little bit deeper for the good stuff. Otherwise, Battlesphere is good. I like the Battlesphere. Nykthos, you know, potentially some reasonable ramp. Liliana's pretty good. I don't know how powerful she is in this format yet. Hexmage, the little Planeswalker killer. Got some Persist. Impulse isn't bad. Nothing too crazy. Through the Breach is good. Through the Breach is definitely good with your Eldrazi. Yeah, cheating out Eldrazi can be, well, maybe we just take the Through the Breach. It's early enough where I can pick up some fatties, like Progenitus. I guess Progenitus isn't the best with Through the Breach because it doesn't like, you pretty much, I guess Through the Breach is pretty much just for, it basically is best with Eldrazi and maybe not that much else. Actually, it's still good with like Woodfall Primus too. You bring it in, you destroy a land, you sacrifice it, come back, destroy a land. Yeah, that's pretty good. So Persist and I guess pretty much just Woodfall Primus Persist though. I think we take Eternal Witness here. It's a pretty strong card in general. I like Garrick too. This guy's good. But E-Witness is pretty insane. There's also Armageddon in here, but not exactly sure that's what I'm looking for. Let's take the Eternal Witness, which is just good. I like playing ramps or fatties. Any of that will be good. Stagger Shock's a good burn spell. But I think we're looking at Battlement. I don't have any other defenders yet, but he also blocks well. I think he's good. I like Wooded Foothills. That would certainly be a good card to have, but I like the ramp quite a bit. And taking over on Battlement here seems fine. Okay, now we could take Swords, which I like, but I think I want the Sundering Titan. The Sundering Titan is actually insane with Through the Breach. Since it comes out, you destroy their lands, and then it leaves, and you destroy their lands. So, considering we already have a ramp element, and we can get to it sooner, or cheat it out with the Through the Breach, I think Sundering Titan is definitely what we want. I do like the Swords to Plowshares as well, but I think it's a pretty easy Sundering Titan. Top is also good if I have like a shuffle element, as mentioned before, with like same thing that makes Sylvan Library good, also makes Sensei's Divining Top good. What do we got now? We've got Tech Edge, which is fine. Probably the Temple of Abandon might be what I'm looking for. There's also Troll Ascetic, which is fine. I like Hexproof and Regen. It's a good ability mashup. Let's take the Temple of Abandon. Scrylands are good, and fixing for both of our colors seems pretty relevant. It also doesn't have a type, which means I don't have to target it with Sundering Titan. I do like Greater Gargadon, but I think we're probably going just Primal Command. It's a great card in general. Gaining 7 life can be insane against aggressive decks. It's just really versatile ability mashup. I like it. You usually end up gaining 7 and searching for a creature card. And when you have ramp going, that's just huge. Gaining the 7 buys you time. Finding the creature you need is right in line with goodness. So let's take Primal Command. Alright, Summoning Trap, we can take that. It's another way to cheat out Sundering Titan a little bit quicker, or if we end up with any of the Eldrazi, it's once again good. Basically, I'm trying to construct the same deck I just constructed, but I'm hoping to actually play it well this time around. Since I do stand by that deck was good, I screwed up a few times. Alright, Firebolt. It's at least a good sideboard card. I probably don't want to main deck it. Red Cap seems fine. It's not insane, but kills things. It's probably, once again, not something I want to main deck. Hinterland Harbor seems fine. I can take the Bident, which would definitely be good if... It's actually pretty good with a bunch of cheap ramp creatures, but it's not good with Battlement or Hierarch, really. I mean, it's okay with Hierarch, but I'd probably just take the land. And if I see blue things I want to splash for, I've got the Hierarch already too, so I like that. Let's do that. Alright, Port seems fine, actually, when you're ramping. Otherwise, it's Staggered Shock, which isn't terribly exciting. There's also a Temple of Epiphany, which continues to help for blue, but let's take the shot in Port. I actually like Port in a ramp deck. Can be pretty devastating. None of this is super good. I could take a Factory. I don't really like it all that much in this deck, I don't think. But I guess I take it anyway. Alright, Tech Edge versus Seal of Fire. I already have a Firebolt. I don't think anybody's playing red deck wins, which is unfortunate because I'm a red deck player. But alright, Gargadon's actually fine. I never have a problem with Gargadon, so it really shouldn't go last pick, I don't think, either. I think it's a pretty good card. It's not exactly what I'm going for with this deck, but yeah, it's still good. Alright, Hornet Queen still works just fine, but there's also Gaia's Cradle, which is quite good. Undeniably, it's pretty big ramp. I need some more ramp creatures to really take advantage of it. But it's kind of cool alongside Young Pyromancer, as odd as that is. But I have to have a lot of spells to really make that work. Hornet Queen is a nice card to both Summoning Trap out. Even through the breach is good with it. You get to keep 4 insects that fly and have Death Touch. I guess it's not that good. 2 cards for 4 flying insects. Not the most insane, but Hornet Queen is a good card. Maybe I'll just take Gaia's Cradle. You can just get huge ramp off of it. I guess the problem is Gaia's Cradle is good alongside Hornet Queen, and we already passed the battle sphere. I see that being an issue, I guess. I feel like it's early enough, though, where I can find some more ramp creatures and be fine, though. Like Wood Elves is good. Indrix Downpowler is usually really good, but I don't know if it's as good in this format. It's still good, just not as good, I don't think. Kind of want this Wood Elves. It's pretty awesome. You only get a forest off of it, but it does ramp, and it's a creature for Gaia's Cradle. So I kind of like it. I think we're going to take it. So what do we got now? We can do Scavenging Ooze. We can do Beast Within. Beast Within is a nice catch-all, and you can use it defensively. Scavenging Ooze does buy you some life, or time and life, though, and a relatively cheap creature. There's also Stomping Ground. I could take the Stomping Ground. And there's Flame Slash, but do I want the Beast Within? Maybe at tables. Let's take the land. Alright, Wall of Roots is a thing. It's a good ramp creature. Currently on the hunt for some actual fatties. I guess we're a little bit short on that. But I'm hoping we can figure that out sooner rather than later. Let's see. I mean, Johnny's cool. I'm not sure that's what I really want. Wall of Blossoms is fine, not amazing. Could take a land, I guess. I feel like I'm kind of good on lands. I'm just on the hunt for some actual good cards right now. Could take a Johnny. It's not insane. Lets you find creatures, though. Seems like it's easy enough to splash for, but maybe not. I mean, there's nothing in here for us, really. Naturalize, but it's not super exciting. It's a sideboard card. Johnny's okay. Alright, I guess we take a Johnny. I'm not likely to main deck it, but there's a chance. Recruiter lets me find basically every creature I currently have minus the fatties. But it's not super impressive. Song of the Dryads might be okay in this format. It's like an actual green thing that can turn things off. Could be okay. It's not exactly what I'm going for, but we've seen a big lack of fatties right now. Search for tomorrow. Jeez, where are all the big dudes at? There he goes. This is a great one. All right, Woodfall Primus is an excellent pickup since it can be trapped, it can be through the breached, and it can be found with Primal Command. So I love playing Woodfall Primus. Pretty happy to have it here. Alongside all this ramp. We need to make use of this ramp. Just a bunch of crazy black cards that are good. Could take Young Pyromancer. We have Search, Song, Primal, Through the Breach, Summoning Trap. It's not that much, but it's kind of cool alongside Gaia's Cradle. I still think that, but preferably not end up playing it, but I guess we'll see if that works out. I could take Gore Clan. It's actually not that good, but it's a creature. We don't have a 4-drop yet. You can be Blood Rush. The Trample can be relevant on dudes that don't have Trample, like Gargadon or Sunring Titan. Otherwise, it's Rancor, which is also, I guess, kind of good, but we don't look like a beatdown deck. We look like a defensive deck. Gore Clan might be versatile enough to play. I don't know. All right, I take Flame Slash. I think we're just going to sideboard it. Rootbound Crag, it's on color. Otherwise, it's Char, so let's take the Rootbound Crag. None of these are all that good. We'll take the Red Deck Wins card, although it does seem like no one's playing it. Could be better to take the mono black aggro cards at this point. But then again, I might end up needing some of these red cards, sadly. So far, not the most insane deck, I admit. Beetleback Chief, I guess, is actually kind of reasonable with Gaia's Cradle, too. Lets you ramp for 3 with it. Only in green, granted, but I gotta move these over so I can remember I have them. Alright. Options now. Well, there's Sneak Attack, but I'm currently having the problem of not enough fatties. And more than enough ways to get out the fatties. I have all the ramp in the world. I mean, Sneak Attack is good with Sundering Titan and Woodfall Primus, though. But I really need some fatties this time. I could take the Thundermaw, which seems good if you ramp it. I mean, good white cards. Maybe I take the Sneak Attack and I hope I get lucky to find... It does seem like Eldrazi likely got picked, unless they're in this pack. If there's Eldrazi in this pack, I'm going to wish I had a Sneak Attack. I mean, Sneak Attack certainly has the most upside if I find fatties. But if I don't find fatties, it's just not that good. So this last pack is kind of important. Maybe I just want the Thundermaw, but Thundermaw is not the most exciting dude, especially to cheat out. I think I just go for broke and take the Sneak Attack and hope we find the fatties I'm hoping for. Like, even Gristlebrand seems okay. There's an Obstinate Baloth. Like, I can Through the Breach or Sneak Attack or Summoning Trap Gristlebrand, which isn't bad, actually. If I have it in my opener, I can still Sneak Attack it out or Through the Breach it. If I don't have it in my opener, I can find it with Summoning Trap. I don't know. I'm on the hunt for fatties. Drawing 7 cards is pretty insane. And giving it haste, getting in for 7, and drawing 7 is also insane. All right, let's combo off. We need something. Wasteland, more land destruction, which we currently have a lot of, but I don't see why not. Otherwise, Scalding Tarn can find Stomping Ground, so maybe that's the pick. Helps us fix a little bit better. We're not that color intensive, though. Wasteland might be something we want to, like, hurt our opponent's mana base while we're just ramping up. It's not the worst idea I've ever had. This just helps make our red spells easier to cast, but I probably don't even need the Pyromancer. All right, let's take the Wasteland. Visara is not the greatest to cheat out. Kodama's Reach, I mean, it's good ramp, but I feel like I have enough ramp. Domri, I mean, good once again, but not really for us. I guess I just take the Kodama's Reach. Jeez. I might just end up playing some burn spells, as sad as that is, to buy time. Alright, I think we actually need this Fauna Shaman, since I'm not... I mean, Taiga's cool and all, but our mana base looks fine, and Fauna Shaman at least lets us ditch Hierarchs and stuff for actual creatures we need, so I think we gotta have the Fauna Shaman. Alright, Polykranos, and not much else, so I guess we'll take him. Also, I guess Zealous Conscripts is a thing, but I kind of like the Polykranos more because we need some actual mid-range stuff to kill people with. I could splash for Mirari's Wake, but I feel like I have enough ramp where it doesn't matter. I guess we just take Bloodbraid, which currently hits only relevant things, which I kind of like, actually. So we'll take it. Siege Gang is actually a fine card, especially alongside the Guy's Cradle once again. So let's take Siege Gang Commander and be fine with it. All right, our deck's not the worst. I think the sad part about our deck is I want it to be better than it is. That's the only sad part about our deck. All right, we'll take Thundermaw. We're like basically a mid-range deck that has some potential cool things with Gristlebrand and Sneak Attack and Through the Breach and nonsense like that. Court of Calling is certainly good with ramp, but I would have to pay I'd have to pay like 11 mana to get out dudes. That's a lot of mana. Court of Calling might not be good enough. I don't have any real like cheap creatures that I want a Court of Calling out. I mean, yeah, you can Convoke it, but everything I guess I do have some tokens maybe I can Convoke with. Nothing else in this pack is very interesting. I guess Smash is a thing, but I'll take the Court of Calling. I don't think we're likely to play it, but whatever. Alright. Fanatic works better with the Gaia's Cradle, and it can like block and kill something. Searing Spear is fine though too. It's better for burn decks, I guess. Alright, let's take the Spear. Kiln Fiend is a card I don't want to deal with, but then again, I don't want to deal with Visara either. So let's hate that. I mean, I feel like if they cheat out Visara, a cheap way, we're in big trouble. Fire Blast, we definitely could have made a sick red deck wins. But that's okay. Not a huge deal. Neither of these cards really matter. I guess we'll take this. Alright, so good news and bad news about our deck. Good news is we ended up with some creatures that are legitimately good to cheat out with Sneak Attack and Through the Breach. The examples being Woodfall Primus, Sundering Titan, and Gristlebrand. The bad news, we didn't get any Eldrazi, which would have been, like our last deck, significantly better, I think. I think we are going to play 16 lands. Although I have lands that land destruct, so it might actually be better to play 17, especially since a lot of cards in my main deck really aren't that exciting anyway. How many ramp guys did I end up with? Hierarch, like Pyromancer doesn't look all that good in here. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess it actually doesn't look terrible, but it seems strange. It's pretty much just in here for Gaia's Cradle, and it's just a better red deck wins card. I don't think that's exactly what I want. I could play a Flame Slash as just some removal, which is fine, not exciting. I think we are going to end up playing 17 lands, mostly because, like I said, I've got Rishadan Port, Tech Edge, Wasteland. So I've got like actual good land destruction, and my color fixing is pretty reasonable too. And I guess I have a Mistress Factory, but I don't think I'm going to play it. I don't see a clear reason to play Mistress Factory. Really, it's a good blocker. Maybe it's a card I sideboard into against aggressive decks because it is a 3/3 blocker, which is not bad. But we have some pretty decent walls too. And actually, Overgrown with Wall of Roots is very good. I guess those are the only defenders we have, but still. Yeah, I mean, this deck looks like it can win. It's certainly not amazing. I can cheat out. It is instant speed on Court of Calling too, so I guess that's a bonus. We have like too many ways to cheat out creatures and not enough creatures though. That really is the main dilemma. If I was to cut any of these, which would I cut? That's a good question. I actually don't know. I kind of like that Summoning Trap can give me Gristlebrand for good. That seems pretty insane. Gargadon I wish was a little bit better in this deck, but still kind of useful. Song of the Dryads I'm never really excited for, but it's actually, I imagine it's okay in this format. if someone's just trying to beat you down with like a fatty of some sort. Yeah, I mean, this deck's okay. It's really not that insane, unfortunately. But it really just needed like an Emrakul again to get insane, I think. But do I want Sneak Attack, Through the Breach, Summoning Trap, and Court of Calling? 4 dudes for 3 dudes seems kind of bad. Siege Gang is still fine in this deck. It can take a game over, which is kind of funny. Bloodbraid into any of these seems fine. I don't think I want to run Flame Slash main deck, but could be useful if I wanted to cut, like, I don't know, Sneak Attack through Summoning Trap or Court of Calling. Court of Calling is going to cost me 11 mana, whether it be tapping dudes or not, to get to Gristlebrand, but that might be worth it. I don't know. I feel like we need some way to get out Gristlebrand, and Court of Calling actually does that, so it's reasonable. I admit, Gristlebrand looks pretty bad if we open a hand with it, but we do have Fauna Shaman to ditch it, find something we can actually use. And I really do like the idea of Court of Calling or Summoning Trapping it. I don't know how to pronounce that. I don't know what to say. Could do the Beetleback Chief just as a way to make Court of Calling and Gaia's Cradle better. It's not the worst idea I've ever had. It is double red, but I don't think our mana base is going to hurt too badly with... We got triple fixing. Beetleback Chief, probably not worth it, I guess. Alright, I guess we're going to try it like this. Not the best deck I've ever made, for sure. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't horribly successful, but it's okay. It's fine. Do have a couple double red, which worries me, but we're only 2 colors, so it's not that big of a deal. And Gristlebrand looks so ugly in this deck, but like I said, it is very good with sneak. If you sneak attack in a Gristlebrand, 7 damage, draw 7. That's worth it. Same with Through the Breach with it. I like it. All right, well, let's get our mana base going here. So we already have 3 sources of red and green, and I think I am playing all my land hate. I think. What? I gotta look at all the ramp I got again. I've got Search for Tomorrow, Kadama's Hierarch, Search, Overgrown, Wall of Roots, Kadama's Reach, Wood Elves. I only have 6 ramps? Which of Wasteland, Tech Edge, and maybe Tech Edge is the worst, perhaps? Port and Wasteland seem pretty good. Tech Edge is a bit underwhelming. All right, I'm going to cut the Tech Edge just so I can make sure I hit my red and green when I need them, or, you know, help with that, I guess. Is Court of Calling bad in here? It's really tough to say. It really boils down to, once again, I think the fact that I can get a Gristlebrand off of it makes it worth it, but I guess Gaia's Cradle helps that. Yeah, it's probably worth playing. I think we could get to that point, theoretically. And we have some mid-range guys that can help hold down the fort, I guess. Alright, this is certainly an interesting deck. We can win. I think it's not going to be easy, but I'll try my best. Let me sort by color again. I got to take a look at that again. Alright, so I have 2 double red spells. I already have 3 sources of red. I probably want at least 4 more. Yeah, definitely don't need those. So this would be 10 sources of green, 7 sources of red. That seems like enough to me. Alright. Don't think this deck's very good. I think it's okay. I certainly don't have super high hopes of it. I kind of wanted it to pan out better with the early Through the Breach pick. And I definitely was banking with the last pack sneak attack pick, hoping to pick up some crazy creatures. But pretty much we're going to have to settle with Gristlebrand, Woodfall Primus, and Sundering Titan. And I guess Greater Gargadon to a certain extent, but just a 9/7 body, vanilla, not that exciting. All right, I guess we're trying it like this. Wish me luck.